All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are joining from. Let me know in the chat if you're joining live. Let me know where you're coming from in the world. I'd love to know where everybody is coming from in the world. And we're going to get right into it as you guys are dropping that. I'm so happy to be with you. And I really value your time, which is why, I want to just start off by telling you guys I don't want to waste anybody's time. I want to talk about a little bit, just get into a little bit what we're going to be talking about, which is how to free yourself by learning high income skills and a step-by-step plan. And a lot of what I see out there in terms of what's on YouTube, but also what's just out there in general in the world is a lot of fluff about, hey, become financially free and, get rich and all this stuff, which is great. Like you can, and everybody can. Everybody really can. However, there's a lot of there's a lot of hype around it and a lot of fluff. So I know your time is valuable. So today I don't want to give you fluff. I don't want to give you hype. I know if you're subscribed to this channel, you already know. I already assume you understand it's gonna take hard work. There's nothing hyped about this process, right? There's nothing fluff about this. We need a plan. We need a step-by-step process in order to learn this, in order to achieve this. So let's talk a little bit about, okay, first of all, why am I even qualified to talk about this in the first place? Okay, so this is two businesses that I ran. And I don't want to glorify this at all. The left side is my, direct sales business. Right side is later when I started a test prep business. And you could see on the right side all the work involved to create even just the marketing plan. That's not the whole business plan, but the whole marketing plan. And just thinking about, okay, what do I put in here? What do I do? And it wasn't all like, trust me, guys, it wasn't all like, oh, glorified. Eventually, I did find success in both of these businesses. However, like livable success, right? Where I was able to not have to listen to anybody, and all of that great stuff. And I could do whatever I want. Not so much in the second business, because that's stuck in an office all day, which I 80 hours a week, which I figured out pretty quickly. However, what's the problem, okay, that I see? How many of you guys, I want to hear from you guys. Like, how many of you guys have watched high income skills videos? You've watched something about, maybe getting better at copywriting, getting better at coding, getting better at writing, getting better at marketing, getting better at sales, getting better at whatever the skill is. And then you hear from the influencer, yeah, you should learn this high income skill. And then what's the question that's left in your head? Yeah, but how? How do I actually learn the high income skill, right? You're left scratching your head. How do I actually do that, right? And nobody ever tells you how to learn a high income skill. They just tell you that you should, okay? So what I'm going to do is you're going to leave today with a step-by-step plan. Of course, you are all individuals. We are all individuals, so I can't give everybody's personalized plan to achieve the outcome you want to achieve is going to look a little bit different for everybody. However, keep in mind that what I'm going to recommend is based on my experience, what is a really good starting point. Not a starting point. It's a really good model for how to learn high income skills, and also not only how to learn high income skills, but how to execute and actually create the life you want. Okay, nothing hypey about that. And I just want to go into this discussion for a moment before we get into that. I want to reassure everybody here, because a lot of people think, well, I need a college degree and I need to, at the end of the day, yes, you do need a college degree, but no, at the end of the day, a college degree, you don't need one. A college degree is a good thing to have. I won't dispute that. I'm not like, one of these, finance dudes who always says, school sucks. And no, I don't believe that. I think education is good in and of itself. I stand by that. Okay. I stand by that. However, it's for education. It's not for making money. It's for being a better person and being more intelligent, informed, but it's not for making money. Okay. And that has been shown more and more here, where the Ivy League is actually not looking as much at employers are not looking as much at Ivy League, and they're also growingly not looking as much at college education in general. So of course, a lot of you, so I don't know all of you individually, but I would love to hear from everybody because I want to get to know everybody. Some of you may want to develop high income skills because you don't necessarily want to be an entrepreneur or like start your own thing or create passive income. That's totally fine. You guys know where I stand. If you've seen other videos by me on this, you know where I stand on this. I think you should do whatever your purpose calls you to do, right? At the end of the day, if that means getting a better career or transitioning into another career or getting a better position at your current job or just being better at what you do because you love what you do, great. If that's to be an entrepreneur, great. Either way, what I'm going to recommend here is going to be applicable to you, is going to apply to you. So high income skills of 2024. I have surveyed all of the YouTube videos out there. I've saved you guys a lot of time. All right. I have watched dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of YouTube videos out there on high income skills just to make sure I wasn't missing anything. And based on every expert, non-expert out there who talks about high income skills on YouTube, you see, these are basically the core skills that they all talk about, or some talk about this and some talk about that, but I've compiled them all into one list. And one that they don't talk about more and more that's becoming increasingly important. And then I promise I'll get to the plan soon, the actual step-by-step plan. So stay with me here. I'll get to the step-by-step plan shortly, but I want to open it up with what are some high income skills we want to learn. So AI prompting is actually a big skill we do want to learn. And here's the thing, if you're not using AI, you're not using ChatGPT or Gemini or something, generative AI in some part of your process right now, you're really missing the boat. You really need to start integrating that. We all need to start integrating that into our business, into whatever. So I'm gonna fast forward a little bit because we're gonna come back to this slide, but because I want to emphasize something else here. Before we even get started, right? You could see all of the lists here, all of the things that are going to bring you high income, that are either going to make you better at your job or more employable somewhere else, or be able to create a second stream of income, or be able to become an entrepreneur and quit your job and have total financial and time freedom. You can do that with a lot of these skills, but we'll come back to them. Right? Screenshot it, but we will come back to it. A sensible approach to high income skills, though. The two questions are how do I learn high income skills? And number two, how do I approach it? Like, how do I even get started in the first place? Well, here's my recommendation. Remember from my previous experience back there, I totally recommend everybody. And guys, I want to hear more from you, right? Where is everybody? Where is everybody coming from? Put it in the chat, put it in the comments. I want to hear from you. Like who are you, right? Who's tuning in today? And anyway, so here's my number one recommendation. Work your full-time job or business that you're currently doing. Stay with that. One of the biggest mistakes I made when I started my direct sales business back in 2013 is like 2 years in, I was like, F this, I don't want to work a job. I don't want to work an office job or whatever. And welcome Eric from Las Vegas. Eric, yes, I know Eric well. So yeah, I was like, I don't want to work in an office. And so I did my business full time. And that was actually while I was like a broke college student, kind of on the prospect of like, yeah, I'm going to make a lot of money. So I'm just going to like put my full effort into it and go full time from the start. Biggest mistake I made. The more responsible thing to do for most people, I will say, is keep your full-time job. Or if you're running a business right now, keep your full-time business and develop what I call, I haven't heard other people call this, but I call it stepping stone income. So it doesn't matter if you have a low income right now, you're like just making ends meet, or you might have a high income, like a great job, stable kind of maybe job. But whatever position you're in, you want a cushion, you want an extra stream of income to cushion you so that you can use this to invest in your business and actually use it as experimentation income. Because here's the one thing that I absolutely I get almost guarantee you this: you're going to lose money. Okay, so prepare yourself up front. Cyan, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Is it Cyan or Cyan? Let me know. But welcome, thank you, and I'm so glad you're here. I'd love to hear your thoughts as afterwards and as we go. But develop stepping stone income, because you will lose money. That's something we have to accept up front. Like, most people don't want to say that. Most people don't want to tell you that, quite honestly, but you will lose money, like almost guaranteed, because you're new, you're learning the skill for the first time, you're practicing the skill. Let's say, as an example, right? You're learning, let's go back to this list. Let's look at marketing right here. Marketing. Let's say if you're learning how to create online ads. The reality is, you probably will have to, you can take courses, right? Number one, you have to probably take a course in it or something. So invest a little bit of money there, or take classes or whatever, or you're going to have to invest in ads to try it out, see how the ad performs. Even if it's like $20 here, $20 there, $50 here, you're going to have to try it out. So, and not all of those ads are going to make money for you, as an example. So we have to have this cushion income. And my number one recommendation for doing that, for creating a stepping stone income, is look for something that's fast and reliable to make money. Meaning something that if you do it today, it's not like something maybe even entrepreneurial, something you can do today that by the end of the week, you're going to get paid for it, right? 2 weeks from now, and every 2 weeks, you're going to get paid for it, right? As a beginning, because it's your stepping stone. It's not your forever, but it's your stepping stone, and already relatively within your skill set. Don't, as you're trying, eventually you're going to learn different skills, right? Maybe outside of your skill set to create your freedom, right? But to start, focus on something that's relatively within your skill set. So for instance, an example for me would be teaching, right? Online tutoring. Online tutoring is really I could do that without too much thinking, even without too much preparation. I've done, you guys know, I've done online tutoring before, and I've done, the whole curriculum design. That's within more of my experience and skill set. Maybe you are an engineer right now and you already have some coding experience. Could you do some freelance coding? Maybe you already have some management experience, or maybe you have some experience talking to people. Could you do something that is remote setting or remote closing? Could you do something with Instagram account management or something freelance? Could you work for somebody, right? Working in their social media management, like a company, work for a company. Could you do copywriting, not even as freelance, because that's kind of you don't know when the money's coming there, but could you do copywriting for a company? I guarantee you guys, look on LinkedIn, look on Indeed, look on all of these websites, Fiverr, all this stuff, and you will see there are so many opportunities. You just got to be creative in how you approach your stepping stone income. So something already relatively within your skill set, something that doesn't require a long-term commitment, meaning you can get started today or this week, and if you want, you could quit next week, right? Something that doesn't have strings attached, right? What do I mean strings attached? Oh, here's your pension, and and make all these commitments, your health insurance, that gets tricky. So use a portion of your stepping stone income and create that savings or investment. That's a really good approach. Now, what are you going to do with that stepping stone income and that savings and investment? All right, as hard as it is, I'm not saying this is easy or this is oh yeah, just create savings. No, if you have 4 kids, I hear you. Maybe some of you out there have 4 kids and you're, let's say, single parent. I'm not pretending this is easy, right? So don't, my mom was a single mom. I know how it is. You just even barely have time for yourself, right? So you got to also as you're going through this process, take some care of yourself. Make sure you're taking some time to say like, okay, here's my mental rest time. Again, that's easier said than done. I don't have time to go into it on a live stream like this, but I want you guys to understand the approach. And then stay tuned, guys, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a live example of how to build out a curriculum, okay, for you, for what you want to learn, a study plan for what you want to learn, and it's all using AI. I'll show you how to do that. I built a proprietary AI to help you guys with that, or to help with that. If you don't have access to it, you can use ChatGPT, but I'll show you that in a moment. And I'll show you from all my teaching experience, a kind of a step-by-step approach, right? So build your new skill set along your stepping stone income. Now, how to actually learn the high income skill, or really any skill. Let's say you wanted to learn French or whatever. I can't count how many topics I've tutored in. Like for everything from physics, guys, to of course the sales coaching, and motivating people to go out and sell, to training employees, to going and teaching physics and French and I don't know, SAT, ACT. You guys want to hear the alphabet soup? Maybe I could turn it into like a rap or something. ACT, SAT, SHSAT. I don't want to rap on here. But anyway, so skill mastery guide, basic overview, skill mastery GPT live example. So we're going to get into the next thing I'm going to share. Let me actually take this off. Just bear with me for a moment, because I'm going to take this off the screen and I'm going to go into share screen. So I'm going to share the skill mastery guide now. So what is the skill mastery guide? So the skill mastery guide is just something that over years, hopefully you guys can all see it now. Yes, you can. You should be able to. So the skill mastery guide is something that I have developed over, where is it on my screen? There we go. It's something that I've developed over years of, again, like teaching, coaching experience. And then I started to realize that there's a similarity between all the skills that we can learn. Every skill basically gets developed in a certain broad pattern, right? Similarly. So the process. So first thing we want to do is identify the learning goal. You always want to identify your learning goal, meaning make it a SMART goal. What do I mean by a SMART goal? A SMART goal is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. So when you're identifying the learning goal, right, what do we want it to be? You don't want to just say, oh, I want to learn coding. Okay. How about I want to learn coding? I'll give you guys examples, and then we'll feed it into the skill mastery GPT that I have here. I want to learn coding so that I want to learn to be proficient enough in coding within 12 months. Here's a time frame, right? So that I can design an app, design and launch an app within that time frame that will earn money through advertiser revenue and will start earning me at least, let's say, $2,000, $3,000 a month to start, right? If you're netting like $3,000 a month as a startup after 1 year, that's actually pretty good. If you're netting it, obviously, if that's your revenue, it's different. But if you're netting that after 1 year, wow, you're actually doing pretty well. Most people don't realize that. Okay, you just build from there, though. Okay, what about another goal? Sales is an example. You don't just want to say, like, this is not a goal. A lot of people have this goal, right? Quote unquote. It's not a goal. You don't just have a goal. I'll just get off of the screen for a moment. You don't have a sales goal would not be, I want to learn sales. No, it's not. Just like if I were tutoring like an SAT student, they say, oh, I want to do better on my SAT. That's also not a goal. It would be, I want to increase by 200 points in 6 months. And that would be a goal. For sales, it would be, I want to learn how to, as an example, to learn to sell a $50 product on Amazon and net a 30% margin on each product sale within 12 months, so that I can earn by the end of that 12 months $5,000 per month net profit. See, that's a different goal. So we have to start with that. And that's where a lot of people get stuck. Like, don't just say, oh, I want to learn this or that, right? It's not a goal yet. It's not a goal yet until we can narrow that down. So I want everybody to just like, I want something to you to interact with this a little bit. So take out a sheet of paper or take out something and start formulating your goal. I would love you to actually, really benefit from this and start writing out a SMART goal. Like with those specific parameters, start really thinking about it, visualizing it, right, and get that out. I love helping you guys. I love helping people. So this is just I want to help you guys. Identify study partners. That's misspelled. Okay, well, I hope you'll forgive me. So identify study partners. So this is harder, easier said than done. Identifying study partners. So let's say you have your SMART goal now, okay? The next step really is to identify study partners. Ideally, you would have a teacher or a tutor. For many people, I know that's not realistic. Like that's very expensive. It can be very expensive to learn a skill directly from a teacher one-on-one. The next best thing, and the research shows this abundantly, is the next best thing, and even can be equal, is getting together with other people. And I don't care what it takes. You have to connect with other people who are learning somewhat of the same skill or a similar skill, and you guys can meet on a regular basis, okay? And you can talk about your progress, and you can brainstorm the curriculum, brainstorm the next steps, what you're going to do. Do exercises together. It's kind of like your study group. Okay. It's very, very important to do this. If you try to learn stuff by yourself, you won't be able to. You got to have that camaraderie. Identify curriculum steps. So easier said than done. But I'm going to show you now. Now is the point where I'm going to show you how do you identify your curriculum steps. Well, if you were working with a tutor or a teacher one-on-one, this is a no-brainer. Hopefully a good one would give you curriculum and a study plan, but that's okay because we have technology. Okay. So what technology do we have? We have GPTs. So let's show you, I'm going to stop sharing this screen and I'm going to share the ChatGPT screen. Okay. So this is actually what is called my skill mastery coach, because I created this to make it easy for people to be able to, have what should I say? I made it so that it would make it easier for people to take a SMART goal or develop a goal and start playing with this and get a curriculum plan going, right? And you can further refine this as you go down. So let's take a sales goal. Let's take a sales goal example. So let's just say, I'll show you how this works. It's actually pretty cool. And if you have GPT-4, you can use this, okay? If you don't have GPT-4, it's okay, because I know that's paid. I want to make this as affordable as ever for everybody. So if you have GPT 3.5, which is free, you just have to do a little bit more prompting to get the same result, but you can get exactly the same result with free ChatGPT, okay? I just want to reassure you. So let's say I have a sales goal. I want to learn how to sell a $50 product on Amazon. It could be anything. It could be Shopify, Etsy, whatever, independently, right? My own website. I want to learn how to sell a $50 product on Amazon so that I can, let's be as specific as possible, with a 30% margin, right? It's like 30% profit. Oh, I did that backwards. 30% profit margin, so that I can earn $5,000 per month by the end of 12 months. Okay, so this is what it's going to do. You're going to see it's going to spit out a study plan for us. So let's actually make this a little bit bigger. And so it's telling us, right, that it's specific, measurable, achievable, relevant. It's already programmed with this. So it's going to revise the goal a little bit so that, see, it talked about consistently selling at least 334 units. So it did the calculation for me because I forgot that detail, right? So case in point, when you're prompting ChatGPT normally to do this, you want to be as specific as possible. So now let's create a study schedule. Could you share how much time? So if you're doing normal ChatGPT, you also want to indicate to ChatGPT how much time you can commit weekly to learning and implementing strategies. So I have, let's say you're strapped for time. I have 8 hours per week. It might actually tell us that it's unrealistic to achieve that within that time frame on 8 hours, but let's see, right? So great, with 8 hours per week, you can make substantial progress toward your goal. Let's actually just make this, take the full screen. I forget how to do that. Anyway, hopefully you guys can see that. So monthly overview, this is what it's going to tell us to do each month. Now, it's going to tell us also a detailed week-by-week curriculum for the first 3 months. So this is what we're going to learn how to do. We're going to learn basics, and we're going to sign up for an Amazon seller account. We're also going to, at the end of this, it's going to give us free resources, by the way, workbooks and free places and videos and study guides and things like that where we can learn this skill. Finding and negotiating with suppliers, it's telling us everything. Week 8, SEO for Amazon, learn keyword search, listing optimization. So you see there's a lot to learn, right? This is a list of high-income skills. Let's look at the resources it lists. Look. So Alibaba for sourcing products, Jungle Scout or Helium 10. And if it didn't give you enough resources, let's tell it, please give me at least, let's challenge it, at least 10 free resources to learn, or let's just at least 2 free resources to learn each of the skills in this study plan, right? So look at what it's going to do. And you just can, right? It's going to give us study materials to be able to do this, right? So Amazon's own resource, Jungle Scout's blog, right? We can learn from that. There are product research tools, Camel, competitor analysis, Keepa, Google Trends is really useful for understanding product popularity, right? So for supplier sourcing. So this is just an example. And you can even ask for workbooks specifically. It's going to give you YouTube tutorials, right? So you can ask for workbooks, ebooks. Coursera might have some materials. So just keep on prompting it specifically of what you need. So now I'm going to just get off of that screen. Okay, we're going to stop sharing. And we're going to wrap this up with a little bit more of the plan. So let's go over the next steps in the plan. Once you have your study plan, it's really up to you to time block it in your schedule when you're going to do these things. And let's see. Hold on. I want to share screen. Give me a second, guys. Okay, share the screen. And we are into, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Yes, here we go. All right. So the next steps in this process, once we've identified the curriculum steps, here's the thing. Nothing is perfect. Okay, nothing is perfect. We don't have a perfect study plan. So we will want to do step 4, assess and adjust. I always found myself, whenever I was doing like any kind of tutoring at all, I would always find myself adjusting the plan. Why? Because when a student learns something, and when we all learn something new, it actually often reveals a new problem or new gap that we didn't know we had. And then we have to pivot. We have to say, oh, I didn't know I have to actually learn that next thing. And so we do often have to change the curriculum. But go back. ChatGPT is very flexible. Go back and reprompt it and actually copy and paste your original study plan and say, hey, I now need to learn this within this time period. And can you adjust my study plan to help me? And yeah, Loy, yes, that is very true, right? It is very true. So let's actually go further into this. Let's go, I'm coming in for a landing here, assess and adjust and reassess. So I'm not going to go through the whole thing. This is actually a very, very detailed guide. Okay, it's a very detailed guide. So I'm not going to go through all of it, but reassess means, is the structure still relevant and useful? And for step, let's see, reassess. Oh, sorry. I messed it up. Assess and adjust. So assess and adjust is you actually have to determine the assessments you're going to do. I just talked about the last step, adjusting the curriculum. But before you do that, you want to assess and adjust. So what assessment will you take? For Amazon, for business, for high income skills, you're not going to take a practice quiz. It doesn't work like that. Who cares? Nobody cares if you got 100, right? It doesn't turn into money once you get 100, right? So the idea is you're going to do, just like, for instance, in our ad example, in the study plan that you have action items. You should have homework assignments, right? Little homework assignments. In your study group, you're going to discuss, get together, and this is all in this guide as well, described in this guide. You're going to get together, and each week you're going to talk about your homework assignments, what you're going to do for that week, what you're going to try out. It might be running an ad for $20. It might be doing setting up the Shopify account, or doing some Google Trends keyword search, right? Volume search for seeing what the product trends are on there, right? It's all in your study plan. So then you're going to come back, all of you have done the same task or the same homework. You're going to talk about your findings. Oh, I made this mistake. Your second study partner says, oh, I made this mistake. Your third study partner said, oh, I found this out from the process. I didn't make mistakes, but I actually found this insight. Oh, the other two people now can join in the learning process and understand, oh, okay, that's a better way to do things now, right? So it's really dynamic learning, and that's going to be your homework assignments. You need to take action every week, right? If we really want to make our dream life happen, again, it's not easy. We want to get that stepping stone income. We want to be able to experiment with different approaches, but at the same time, we need to be consistent. Every single week, we need to time block what we're going to do. We need to get together with our study group. And if you have trouble finding those people for a study group, I do have recommendations for how to do that. In fact, I have something that I'm going to talk about in a bit that will help you guys to do that, to find those people. But you have to find study group members. In fact, you guys can join my Discord chat. Right. I'm sure in our Discord chat, we have a whole bunch of fun, right? We have a whole bunch of discussions. The link is in the description below. Join it, because guess what? You can maybe find somebody who's working on the same skill as you, and you guys can collab. You guys can get together and, have a good time, right? Learning should be fun, guys. It really should. So after each assessment, okay, I'm not going to go do all this. Okay. I'm not going to talk about all this, but you basically are going to, let me put my screen back. You basically are going to be using this structure. This structure is very, very helpful to learn any high income skill. So what did we do just now? I took you through a lot of those, that high income skill process, the step-by-step process. Last but not least, I do want to, where is this? Okay. Add to stage. I'm still working on this. Here we go. All right. So last but not least, I do want to let you guys know, if you really want to boost your process, you could do everything I talked about for free. All right. You could definitely, but there's a link in the description for the Elixir of Worthiness. I have this, just launched this. It's a new set of courses for professional writing, learning networking, professional networking, learning sales skills, and so many others. You can, all with workbooks and actually bonus guides and bonus resources. This is super affordable. I wanted to make this super affordable for everybody, because it's you should have access to these and be able to implement these. It's only $27 for everything. Go ahead and go on the link in the description. It's me actually teaching you directly all of these skills, right? Recorded, of course, but me teaching you all these. You can follow along in the workbooks. You can actually implement the plan. You could go back to the recording from today and implement the plan that we talked about today and follow it. I really want you guys to succeed. That's actually a big part of my mission. I want people to succeed, and I want to make it as approachable for everybody to be able to do that. And I think we can have a better world, quite honestly, if more people are pursuing their dreams and we're making it accessible for people to learn these skills. So guys, it has been a pleasure spending time with you. I really appreciate all of you. I never want to waste anybody's time. I want to make it worth it. So I appreciate your time. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and see you in the next video, and also see you in the next live stream. All right. You can find the Elixir of the Worthiness down in the description below, as I said. Take care, guys.